welcome to the first edition of Positively Sparta. This show was created to promote the great life that this town has to offer. We begin with one of the biggest stories here in Sparta, Sparta Day. Jerry Morelli takes in the sights and sounds.
One of the most popular days in Sparta is Sparta Day, a day to meet friends and family, held at Station Park, while enjoying the vendors and food along the way. There's always plenty of activities for the kids, and it's sponsored by the Sparta Junior Women's Club.
The Junior Women's Club started Sparta Day 40 years ago. This is our 40th anniversary. The first one was in 1975, and we've been doing it for 40 years since. Obviously, lots of different chairs and lots of different things over the years. This year we have a performance area and a dunk tank. That's new. We have a lot of new things that we didn't have before. It's a very exciting year for us.
Talk about how this is a way for the town to come out, see their neighbors, see the merchants in town. Talk about all that.
I think it's a wonderful community event. Everybody comes together. We actually work together with some other volunteer organizations too. We work together with Sparta and Rec and Sparta Parks and Rec, and it's just a nice opportunity for everybody to come together and to see each other after a long winter.
The Junior Women's Club, this is just one of the many events we have. Safety Village is coming up soon. That's for kids coming into kindergarten in the fall, turning 5, and they learn all kinds of safety things like bear safety and bus safety. It's just a great way to introduce them into the world of school. And then we also have we do Wish Tree in December, which is the community brings gifts to the library for certain age children. They take an ornament off the tree, and they have an age, and if it's a boy or a girl, and they can bring a gift for them, which is a great event.
Scholarships. We do the spelling bee. Another very popular event is Mother-Daughter Tea. That we had at Lake Mohawk Country Club this year. And we're really building friendships by volunteering together.
So you guys, you work tirelessly to put this event together. You were here early in the morning, first one's here. Talk about all the preparation that's involved in preparing for Sparta Day.
Well, it starts very early. It really starts like the year before December when we start thinking about it. And then it's really a constant something from then on, where we first try to find sponsors. We come up with new ideas that we would like to do for Sparta Day. And it's basically a group of like 8 people that works really hard on it. And then 4 people extra hard, I would say. But it's really where the whole club comes together. Like all of our members are here on Sparta Day helping out.
One final question. Someone wants to get involved. They're watching this interview. They have a local business. Maybe they want to volunteer. How can they go about it for next year? Because it'll be here before you know.
Sure, anybody who wants to contact the Junior Women's Club of Sparta can email us at jwcsparta@gmail.com. Or they can call us at 973-300-7309. And the best way to get in touch with us is email.
The Sparta Police Department well represented at Sparta Day.
Sparta Day is a great day here in Sparta. It's where all our local organizations get together on the weekend, one particular weekend, and celebrate the town and all the good things that this town stands for, and all our local fundraisers and charities. They all get together and have tables and booths. The Sparta Police Department, we probably have most of our department on. Because of the large event, the obvious traffic problems and the parking problems that we have, we want to make sure people have a good time here and not concerned about parking and traffic. So we're out here in force, pretty much to make sure everybody's safe and they're having a good time and they can get to their vehicles. But it's something that we look forward to doing because we see our families come down here and we see a lot of the people that we haven't seen all winter, and it's a good start to the summer.
Sparta Youth Football had a booth at Sparta Day to recruit up-and-coming players.
We're one of the oldest traditional football programs in Sparta, been here since 1957. And what we're doing is try to reach out to the youth right now and letting them know and bring them excited about the game of football again. And that's what we do over here at Sparta Youth Football, and we enjoy that. So we'd like to talk to the kids. It's a great event. We get to see the kids and get to see them again and say hi. You know, Sparta football is great for town. You know, as you know, the high school is back-to-back championships. We have some helmets here from them, signed from the back-to-back championship year of 2013 and 2014. And so this is like what we like to consider ourselves one of the grassroots for that program, because a lot of those kids played with Sparta youth football.
The Sparta Junior Women's Club is already planning next year's Sparta Day. Next up, we have the boat races here in Sparta, the Dragon boat races. And Jerry Morelli is covering the story and yet has never rowed a day in his life. Take it, Muggs.
The first ever Dragon boat races were held at Lake Mohawk, and the event was a big success.
I don't think either of us had ever heard of dragon boat racing prior to us planning the event. We have a fellow board member who had seen a dragon boat festival out in Montana and then brought the idea to the board as a possible event for the Sparta Education Foundation. We looked into it and immediately, I think like everyone else here today, got excited about what dragon boat racing is and its possibility and its potential as a community and team building effort.
The Sparta Education Foundation is a nonprofit organization completely comprised of volunteers, and what we do is raise funds to help support the Sparta Education schools, the schools here. So what we do is provide grants for things to help enhance their education. That can involve anything from funding the robotics program at the high school, grade-leveled libraries from K through 5, as well as baby grand pianos, smart boards, etc. Anything we can do. We touch every school and as many students as we can with our grants. For next year, well, we are hoping to get through today, go ahead and start laying our plans for next year. I think probably again through social media we'll start. That seems to be a lot of people are definitely into the tech side of things. And we'll have information out soon on our websites, our Facebook pages. We do Twitter, Instagram. So we will have information out there soon as to how they can jump on board for next year. We want to get them in the boat.
There were many teams comprised of family and friends, plus many companies had their own team, like Weichert Realtor and Eastern Propane.
I think it's fabulous. The turnout is spectacular. Everybody's happy and having a great time, and it's run very well.
Yep.
Right?
Anything to help.
Our team is Team Eastern Propane. It's made up of all sorts of friends, and we got some employees. We got customers on our team, coordinated by Derek Johnson. We have a lot of great camaraderie here for Sparta and the Sparta Education Foundation. An awfully great, successful event. Everybody's having a blast and looking forward to our next heat.
Before Governor Chris Christie was a presidential candidate, he made his way to the Sussex County Vocational School for a town meeting. Jerry Morelli had the cameras rolling.
New Jersey Governor Chris Christie came to Sparta for one of his many town meetings. Christie held a question and answer session at the Sussex County Vocational School. He sparred with a retired teacher over lack of payments for the Teachers Fund, and he talked about things like Social Security. He took questions from the crowd, Governor Christie did. One of the topics from a person in the crowd was about mental illness. He talked about drug addiction, how it could lead to mental illness, and Chris Christie opened up to the people on hand, talking about a personal issue involving a good friend of his when it came to mental illness.
And I will tell you that for me, and I've told this story a number of times, I'll tell it again today, so you understand that I do understand this. Good friend of mine, who I went to law school with, one of my close friends in law school, he was the smartest of the group of us who studied together. We had a study group. He's the first one who went out and got a really good job. He was one of the editors of the Law Review at Seton Hall. He then went out, he was the first one of the group of us who became a partner in this firm. He married a beautiful woman who was a doctor. They had 3 beautiful daughters. This great career. He was an avid runner, great shape, and he was running 15, 20 miles a week. And he wound up hurting his back from running so much. So he went to the doctor gave him Percocet. He started taking Percocet, and then Oxycontin, and then Percocet and Oxycontin with vodka. And this friend of mine, who was handsome, successful, Ivy League educated undergrad, one of the top people in our class, in our law school class, one of the most successful lawyers I know, with a beautiful home in New Jersey, and a great career, and an incredible wife, and beautiful daughters, became an addict. And we intervened, his friends, we went, we had an intervention. His wife came to us and said, he won't listen to me, you guys need to talk to him. We were his friends forever, so we all went, and he was living someplace else. We went, we intervened with him. We got him into treatment a number of different times, over a 10-year period of time, and nothing worked. And a year ago, last week, I got the call on Sunday morning that I dreaded I was going to get for 10 years. That they found him in the hotel room with an empty bottle of Percocet and an empty quart of vodka, dead. He had been divorced. He couldn't see his children. He lost his job. He lost his driver's license. He flew through his retirement money, and he was living in some hotel and wound up dead. If you looked at this person from the outside, you would say, how? You had everything. Everything that our society values. You had it. What are you doing? We said this to him, and we said it to him because we didn't understand. It's addiction. It's an illness. And even when we got him the tools to try to deal with it, you know, they are but for the grace of God go by. This is a disease that is going to destroy our country if we continue to force these folks into the shadow and make them feel morally inferior for being ill. And so I'm going to continue to talk about it and do things about it because I want your daughter to have a chance to enjoy the life that you gave her.
The town meeting was held weeks before Chris Christie May's announcement to run for president of the United States of America. And talking about mental illness, the governor says he's in favor of more programs. With Governor Chris Christie in Sparta, reporting for Positively Sparta, I'm Jerry Morelli.
Being a teenager is never easy. Jerry Morelli did a story recently about an organization that helps kids transition from middle school to high school.
Oftentimes, when a young person finishes up with middle school, it's on to high school, and sometimes that transition can be difficult for a young person, and that's how the Altitude program was formed to help young people make the transition from middle school to high school.
We are here at Sparta Middle School today, and we are holding the Altitude Rally, which is the end of the year culmination of everything that all the students have gone through all year with the Altitude program. So we are in 5 schools for our pilot few years here. 5 schools in Sussex County, and it's a multimodal program. Altitude, we kick off in each school in the fall, so it spans the whole school year. Kicks off in the fall, and then we have an event called Challenge Day, and the Altitude Workshop, Altitude Service Club. So the purpose of all of this, the Altitude program, is to help lift these kids up. They're in their 8th grade of the year. They're about to cross into their high school years, and the Altitude program is designed to help lift them up, get their faces out of their cell phones, look at each other, connect with their communities, connect with their teacher, and connect with each other, and send them into their high school years with a better sense of self, better sense of commitment to their community and to each other, and it's just an uplifting program for the kids.
How did this program all get started? Give us a little history on it.
Yes, so the Altitude program is the result of the advisory board of Newton Medical Center. There's a community needs assessment, triennial community needs assessment, and what we found in looking at the results from that assessment is some needs for the community in terms of issues that exist in Sussex County, such as drug and alcohol abuse, self-esteem, and these things. So we developed this program to try to target these 8th graders before they really encounter some of these issues. I've run some other programs where after the results I think, geez, if we could have just gotten to these kids sooner. And so we've designed it this way. So we're hitting them in their 8th grade before they cross that threshold in high school, and we're having tremendous success and results with this program. Not only is the program designed to help lift them up and connect with each other, but also some of the program within the Altitude Club, the students are actually designing positive social media messaging, videos and public service announcements for cable television and for radio. And so they're learning how to use those things that they're going to, we all interact with them, and they're interacting with them, and they will forever. It's part of our technology. But to be able to connect with each other and use those tools in a positive social way, and to help teach them and help them learn that, yeah, we understand that these things can be used for a positive thing, and to take care of each other and help lift each other up.
Bill Curcio, the Vice President of Eastern Propane, was honored as the Grand Marshal for the 4th of July parade. He gave us his thoughts on this honor.
Well, I think it's a great honor given to me by the Elks and by the community, and I really appreciate it a lot.
You've been very involved in the Sparta community. Of course, you were the town manager at one time, and you've been running Eastern Propane for the last 35 years. Some of the memorable moments of your life and your career.
Well, I think it's really great. A great community. Sparta's a great community. Sussex County's a great community. It's been a privilege to be here for 41 years, and I think the highlights are just the people that are involved in the organizations. We can't do this and accomplish a lot by ourselves. It takes a lot of people to do it, and there are an awful lot of good people in this community, so I thank them for helping me.
And where were you when you got the call that you're going to be the Grand Marshal of the 4th of July parade? Did Rob call you, or how'd that all work out for you?
Well, I got the call from the Elks, from Anthony, and he said that that I was going to be the Grand Marshal for the parade and their honoree at the banquet, and I said thank you. I wasn't sure they ran out enough people to have it, so they ended up with me. But that was great, But they've been great. We've had several meetings, and I think it's terrific. They were very kind.
Now we have our sports section of the show. Jerry Morelli talked to a football coach who is bringing back a football program, and he is not your run-of-the-mill football coach.
When Bobby Leach played his high school football at Pope John, he played with reckless abandonment. Bobby had many concussions during his playing days in high school and in college. Well, Bobby Leach is still very much involved in the sport he loves. He is a head football coach at Sussex County Vocational School and has turned the game around. He coaches just like he played.
Fortunate enough that I was able to go on to the next level and play. I wasn't, like every kid, you think you're going big time, and there's not a big calling for 5'5" wide receivers at 130 pounds. So, Division III was a good fit for me academically and football-wise. I liked Del Val, and I fit in down there, and that was a good spot for me. And I was fortunate enough I stayed healthy for 4 years and, played every game. So it was great.
Now, I know from your high school days at Pope John, you played with reckless abandonment. You were afraid of no one. In fact, you liked getting hit, and you were crazy on the football field. What made you into the player you were?
I would have to say that, because I was undersized, I had to work, 5 times harder than everybody else, and that's, that was the bottom line. I enjoyed it. I didn't like being stuck in school all day. I liked being outside at practice, and it was fun, and that's all it was. It was just fun, and I loved to do it, and that was it.
Now, you've taken over the program at Sussex Tech, a program that was pretty much dying for a while there. You've revived it. You've got interest. You got a nice, summer practice going on here. The kids seem interested. They want to play for you. How have you taken this program to this level so far? How have you been able to do that?
Hasn't been easy. It's been a lot of hard work, and we've got a terrific staff here, and these kids. I've been at a lot of different high schools and coached college, and these kids they want to win. They want to do this. This is fun to them, and I can't say enough about these kids and these parents that have supported everything we've done as a staff and the school. And it's not easy turning something like this around. That frankly, some people didn't care if we had football or not, and that was that wasn't the easiest thing to come and try to overcome. But the kids, man, they're into it and they love it, and the staff's awesome. So the kids want to come to practice every day, and it's fun. We make it fun.
Talk about your goals for the upcoming season, Coach.
Well, our goal, since we got here was first we wanted to get a couple wins, let these kids, taste the victories, and I think ever since then all we want to do, we want to make them qualify for the state playoffs. That's our goal. It has been the last 4 years, and that 5-5 year in 2012, we had a great senior class, and we were a game short. Again, in 13 we were a game short. We win one more game, we're in. We're an 8 seed, and it's going to be a hell of a game against the Westwood, but that's all right. We just want to get in. That's our goal.
So as you can see, folks, Bobby is unique in his way of coaching with no shoes on, and that makes him fun and different. Alrighty, guys, next up we have the sights and sounds of the Memorial Day weekend and the 4th of July parade. Lieutenant John Paul Beebe recently held a junior police academy where he taught these young kids how to lead a healthy and productive life.
The Sparta Police held a week-long event called Sparta Police Youth Division. 25-year veteran Lieutenant John Paul Beebe was one of the main speakers.
The Sparta Police Division was started approximately 3 years ago. We went through, like so many of the towns in this state, we had some serious budget cuts. We lost about 30% of our manpower, which meant we lost our school resource officers out of the school. That combined with the heroin epidemic that both the state of New Jersey and this country is experiencing, Sparta's no different. We've been affected dramatically by it. We had to come up with something a little more community involved to try and stem the tide of this heroin epidemic, and that's how the Sparta Police Youth Division was born.
Now, what's the message you want to get across to these young people today to lead a happy and productive life?
Well, this Junior Police Academy that we run, it's a 4-day program here in Sparta. I've got my buddy here, Charlie Mulligan. He's one of our youth division guys. This is not your basic Junior Police Academy in the sense where we march them around and we talk about what it's like to be a police officer. Even though those are good, this is not what this is about. This is, in simple terms, it's a survival course. And what it is, it's a no-nonsense, straightforward, graphic look at heroin addiction and what it does to your families and what it does to you. And the guest speakers we have are geared specifically to hammer that message home.
Beebe is a lifelong resident of Sparta, so heroin problem in his town is something he takes to heart.
We live in this community. Our families live in this community. 2013, we had 29 heroin overdoses in this community with 7 fatalities, which is an appalling statistic. So as police officers, we have a sworn obligation and a moral obligation to try and change those numbers.
You got to get to these kids at a young age, and you look at the television shows Scared Straight. This is what we're doing. You have to tell these kids at an early age. It's not okay to go try this. You're not coming back, and I say that. And the percentages I may be off, but you're not coming back. People try this drug, they overdose, or they are a drug addict until they pass on. And it's very difficult to kick the habit. That's why I say you're not coming back. You don't just try it and say, I don't like it. I'm not going to do it anymore. It doesn't work. It doesn't happen.
You mentioned stuff like Oxycontin, that's prescription drugs. That's very dangerous as well, right?
It is. It's Oxycontin. It is an opioid, and it is prescribed lawfully. But it's expensive. Once the prescription runs out, if the person is addicted, they have to go buy those pills on the street. And $60 a pill for Oxycontin, do the math. Your body builds up a tolerance, so instead of taking 2 pills, you got to take 4 pills. The next day you got to take 6 pills. They switch to heroin very quickly because it's cheap.
I feel great being a part of it. The youth in this township is a big thing. We're a close-knit township, and we want to make sure our kids grow up to be safe and healthy. And speaking to these kids this young, is a good thing to try to make them aware of the drug and what happens when you use it.
Chase, you're here at this police division, youth division event today. You heard the detective speak. You heard John Paul Beebe speak. What did you learn here today, Chase?
I learned that this heroin's like a really dangerous thing. Like I didn't know like once you start, like even if it's a little bit, that you can't stop. Like I didn't know that. I thought it's like kind of like if like someone uses like, you know, say like drinks or like weed, like they can stop and start. But this isn't that case.
How'd you find out about this event?
Mr. Beebe told me at football practice.
You play for Sussex Tech.
Yeah.
You're proud to be here today? I mean, you feel good about being here?
Yeah, I feel good. Mr. Beebe's like really like we're close to him as a team. Like our team's a family, but like when he talks, like I feel like I take it like personal. Like I hear like what he says, and like this is like this drug is not to be something to joke around with. Like it's serious.
I just learned that this is a very powerful message because it is a dangerous drug, and you have to be aware about it, especially kids my age who are in high school and are exposed to things like this.
The most powerful speaker was Sparta mom Gail Morris. Her son Alex did heroin once in his life. He overdosed 14 years ago. Now he is in a wheelchair for the rest of his life and needs 24-hour care. His mother was very courageous to speak to the young people on hand.
It's a double-edged sword. If we just sat at home and watched people overdose on heroin and didn't speak up and say, please use our pain, please learn from our mistakes, it would seem like maybe our pain could be at least useful maybe to somebody. So I think for me it's a healing process. Alex doesn't want to be the poster child for drugs. But we do need to make people aware that this is a possibility. People don't. Alex is kind of a rarity in the fact that he survived and didn't die. It seems that either people are shown as being addicts or have obituaries. And that's not always the case. Sometimes it's this very long journey.
So the message is, don't ever get involved in a drug called heroin. Your life will go downhill from there. With the Sparta Police Youth Division in Sparta, reporting for Positively Sparta, I'm Jerry Morelli.
I hope you all have enjoyed our first edition of Positively Sparta. If you have a story idea, remember to email jerry@mugsmedia.com. This will be a monthly show here on Channel 10. Remember, Sparta is a great place to live and work. For Positively Sparta and Channel 10, I'm your host, Nikki Morville. Have a good night.